Hi guys! Kumusta po ang lahat? Good morning sa Pinas and good evening dito. Dito ay alas 7 na ng gabi. Madilim na kasi pa-winter na po. Fall kami dito. So I think it's gonna start mid of December. Minsan dito sa Moncton, New Brunswick, minsan Christmas na mag-snow. So hindi masyadong maaga dito. Pero Saskatchewan, nag-snow na doon, Alberta. Maaga ang snow doon. So Ontario naman, mga minsan Christmas na din mag-start ng snow. So anyway, kararating ko lang galing sa pangkabuhayan showcase. So umpisahan na natin guys, i-continue lang natin ang 422 non-compliant employers. So ibig sabihin, hindi po sila maka-hire ng mga local employers or foreign employers na nangailangan ng LAMIA for work permit. So umpisahan na natin guys. So we can proceed for another employers here from 190 to 42. So I'm gonna finish this everything for one video. So we start here. Okay, Oriental Phonics Restaurant in Calgary, Alberta. On your maps in Los Angeles. Canada Studio, Alberta. Gladiator Logistics, Edmonton, Alberta. Ad Place Ltd, Manitoba. Thai Express, Edmonton, Alberta. Ridge Tracking, Alberta. Quality Hotel in Saskatchewan. Extreme in Alberta. Jasper Liquor Store in Alberta, Edmonton. Ricardo Fortune Construction and Renovation Incorporation in Alberta. Buenatal Installation in Alberta. Boogie's Pub and Pizza in Alberta. Construction Ltd in Alberta. Milestone Logistic in Columbia, British Columbia. Janam Trucking Ltd in Moncton, Alberta. Memot Bistro in Yukon. Auberge Secomi Incorporation in Quebec. Proforma Finance in Quebec. Atlantic Corporation in Lacastel. Eligard Cleaning Services, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Amaya Express Queen in Ontario. Crystal Slotwick in Ontario. Anna Robeno, York, Ontario. Josephine Kong, Ontario. Wana Weisberg in Ontario, home of Hot Test. Rebecca in Ontario. Tarin Matis in Ontario. La Petite in Quebec. Valley Quebec in Quebec. Garderie in Quebec. H2 Concepts Incorporation in Ontario, Toronto. GFF Holdings in Ontario. GIE in Montreal, Quebec. Georgina Paintball, Ontario. Box Workshop Incorporation in Concord, Ontario. Hensi Korea in Ontario. The Maple Leaf Grill and Spirits in Alberta. Club D Soccer in Quebec. Italia Alimentari Canada Ltd in Ontario. Don Grain Farms, Saskatchewan. Siege at Expert in Quebec, Montreal. Badminton Training Center in Ontario. Venus Mechanic Ltd in Colombia. Muhammad Salman Hassan, Etobicoke, Ontario. Roswell Construction Incorporation in Ontario. E.G. Dick and Sons Ltd in Ontario. Hanabi Sushi in Ontario. Shawarma Station in Ontario. Burlington BG Incorporation in Burlington, Ontario. Sandeep Karat in Ontario. Bitar's Pizza Pasta Grill in Nova Scotia. Expedition Incorporation in Quebec. Club Greasy Barra in Quebec, Montreal. Green Mountain Gardens in Ontario. Lee Mebels Via in Quebec. Golardo and Associates, Brampton, Ontario. DTDC Express Canada in Ontario. Panas Cafe, Quebec. Sunnyvale Production, Nova Scotia. On Signature Canada Incorporation, Quebec. Caldwell Transport 2013 Ltd in New Brunswick. So here, Saskatoon Station in Saskatchewan. Synthescape Incorporation in Ontario. Rapid Can Rapid Can Incorporation in Toronto, Ontario, Royal Chinese Seafood Restaurant, Ontario, Godavari in Ontario, Sunshine Dinner in British Columbia, Hollywood Limo Service, Manitoba, Richmond Aluminum Products Manufacturing Ltd. in British Columbia, Tutti Frutti in Quebec, Stick Farms Incorporation in Ontario, Ikero Sushi in Ontario, Uncle Tony's in Ontario, Robert Ligat in Hamilton, Ontario, and Tommy's Welding Ltd. in Manitoba, Alberta in Alberta and Moncton, Splash Costume Auto Refinishing in Alberta, Alpine Rafting Ltd. British Columbia, Frontiers North Incorporated Manitoba, Grand Valley Farms in Ontario, G9190 3716 Quebec and Quebec, Northbrook and Manitoba, Jubel Incorporation in York, Ontario, Beth Jacob and Montreal, Quebec, Platinum Motors Corporation in Saskatchewan, Centenary in British Columbia, Cafe Canada Incorporation in Quebec, Canada Dent Corporation in Ontario, Innovation Group, British Columbia, World Mission, Winnipeg, Manitoba, Intentions Lab, Columbia, Granite by Wednesday in Saskatchewan, F10 Quick Cut in Columbia, Aldasa Drywall Ltd. in Alberta, Juris Brothers Farm in Ontario, AC Racing Stable in Ontario, City and Inn Mastronardi Farms in Ontario, Emil Calixterio in Ontario, Chung Wing Farms in Ontario, Kyoto Japanese Cuisine in Alberta, Avant-Garde Design and Constructions in Alberta, Sky Convenience in Manitoba, Winnipeg, Royalty Jewelry in Alberta, Shukis Hair Design in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Harbor Sushi in British Columbia, R&B Waterproofing Ontario in Mississauga, Ontario, North 6th Agency Canada Incorporation in North York, Ontario, Creative Property Developments Corporation in British Columbia, White Gold Cheese Factory in Alberta, Salvatore Gaetano Sun Gardens Ltd. in Ontario, Domino's Pizza. Oh my god, Domino's Pizza guys is very popular here in Calgary, Alberta. So watch out guys, okay? Frog Creature Production Incorporation, British Columbia, Goose Master Incorporation, Alberta, Pending Gold Jewelers Incorporation in Columbia, Royal Exteriors Incorporation, Saskatchewan, 1457272 Alberta Ltd. in Alberta, Pat Jervis in Columbia, the Synergy Effect in Nova Scotia, French again guys, Patisserie, I don't know how to read that honestly guys, Quebec, Nancy lang mababasa. And then another Quebec, I don't want to give you a wrong pronunciation. Another Quebec, Amaya Express on Toronto, Ontario, Coyoy, Ontario, Anna College Incorporation in Brampton, Ontario, Jumer Gardens in Burlington, Ontario, Hannah's Warma in Richmond Hill, Ontario, Cognac Bar and Grill in Alberta, Shudza Contracting, Edmonton, Alberta, Besley Flooring and Installation Ltd. in Calgary, Alberta, Luigas Carpentry Incorporation, Alberta, R. Bagha Orchids from Colombia, Moniz Concrete in Alberta, Kef Italia in Nova Scotia, JMP Property Services Ltd. in Nova Scotia. Oh, I passed by this before, JMP. Caribbean Bliss Catering South Park Catering, Nova Scotia, ERS Sports, Quebec, Walter Bach Farms Ltd. in Ontario, Loishu Tono in Ontario, Apex Modular Partitions in Ontario, Concord, BCS Contractor Ltd. in British Columbia, Kinetic Social Incorporation in Ontario, NTS Consulting, Lava, Quebec, Azteca Stoco Incorporation in Saskatchewan, Andrea Golfolova in Ontario, Toronto, GNL Farms Ltd. in Saskatchewan, Elanco Canada, Prince Edward Island, Bill Stoco and Renovation Ltd. in Alberta, Trio Resources in Toronto, Ontario, Subway in Saskatchewan, Cherry's Hearts Personal Care Home, Saskatchewan, Muzavera Foods in Montreal, Quebec, Green Oil Incorporation in Toronto, Ontario, Oliver's Breeds in British Columbia, Ottawa Champions Baseball Club in Ontario, Canadian Basketball League, Toronto, Ontario, Ultimate Construction Incorporation in Ontario. Purified Upgrading Canada Incorporation, Calgary, Alberta, Transport Lake Constantin Incorporation in Quebec, Wagyu Farm Ltd in Newmarket, Ontario, Igor Construction, Columbia, Angelosis in Ontario, Delicious Foo in Alberta, E4 Soft Incorporation in Quebec, Objective Data Incorporation in Quebec, Left Forward Childcare in Colombia, High Speed Printing in Alberta. Coast School of Celtic Music Society in British Columbia, Firmus Manufacturing in Montreal, Quebec, Wilmar Group in Toronto, Ontario, Royal Feeds Grows and Corporation in Ontario, Avalanche Concrete in Edmonton, Alberta, GNC Anshu Farms Incorporation in Ontario, Bruce Anshui, Saskatchewan, Rabtic Solution Incorporation in Brampton, Ontario, Kitov Resources Ltd in British Columbia, HB Nutcracker Productions in Ontario, Dill's Plistering and Stocko, Manitoba, Verdapens Ltd in Woodbridge, Ontario, OPE of Greece in Manitoba, Eckersley Bistro in Quebec, Scarlet Acres Limited in Ontario, P&K Hardware Ltd in Nova Scotia, Verdi Incorporation in Ontario, Tonsel International Corporation in Quebec, Hamty's Family Restaurant in Saskatchewan, Avantile Spa in Quebec, Cat Foods in British Columbia, Estelectro Canada Limited in British Columbia, Aaron Alders Development Limited in Nova Scotia, Wild Bell's Pizza in Saskatchewan, Cameron Coal Management Ltd in Scotia, Richard's Family Chiropractic in London, Ontario, GC Interiors Ltd, Alberta, Calgary, Liquor 73 Incorporation, Alberta, Open View Contracting Ltd, Brantford, Ontario, SAS Mechanical Corporation in Brampton, Ontario, TACT Incorporation in Quebec, Wellis Backhoe Services Ltd, Alberta, Versus Football in Montreal, Quebec, City Medical Center, Saskatchewan, Beavers Bar and Grill, Saskatchewan, Sunshine Village Sky and Snowboard Resort in Alberta, Residence Moncton, New Brunswick. Ooh, this is just close by to our place, guys. Hindu Cultural Society and Community Center in Colombia, Dinner's Grill in Manitoba, Dairy Queen in Saskatchewan. A lot of Dairy Queen here. Model T and Restaurant in Saskatchewan, HSBC Software Development in British Columbia, 49 Solution Incorporation in Ottawa, Ontario, Carrot Financial Group in British Columbia, Sunny Solution Incorporation in Quebec, Dracon Contracting Ltd in British Columbia, KF Resonance in Quebec, IT Soft Networking in Toronto, Ontario, Smith Induspac, Ottawa, Ontario, Atlas Tire Wholesale Incorporation in Mississauga, Ontario, Can Media Production Limited in Ontario, ISP Global Incorporation, York, Ontario, Innovert Incorporation in Quebec, Jangwon to Korean Restaurant, York, Ontario, Multitude Contracting in Scarborough, Ontario, Naro in Toronto, Ontario, Northfield Farm in Ontario, Prime Design Interlock and Landscape Construction Corporation in Ontario, Rose Armata Racing in Brampton, Ontario, Shanho Restaurant Incorporation in Ontario, Brantford, T2 Island Lodge in Ontario, Vito Armata Racing in Mississauga, Ontario, WTS Distribution in Calgary, Alberta, Simpress Windsor Corporation in Ontario, Everett General Contracting Ltd in Mississauga, Ontario, Wiz Tower Communications Ltd in British Columbia, Been Around the World in British Columbia, Best Western Plus Charterhouse Hotel in Manitoba, Whitmar Holdings with Holdings Ltd, Colombia, Cavalia Incorporation in Montreal, Quebec, Regent Hotel, British Columbia, Ovid Farms in Ontario. So that's all, guys. 422 non-compliant employers in Canada. So that's all for today, guys, and sana may matutunan, makatulong po tong video na to na maging aware po kayo. So halimbawa kung may mga job offer na po kayo dyan or mga contracting na nyo po yung mga pangalan po, lahat po ay 422, updated po yan, guys. Kung halimbawang company na nag-hire sa inyo, guys, nandyan sa list, wag po kayong magpatuloy, okay? Kasi marirefuse pa rin yung application nyo, guys. Dito kasi sa Canada, kontrolado, dadaan talaga sa IRCC processing. So walang special treatment, either direct or may consultant or DIY, pareho lang lahat na requirements. So bago po ang employers dito maka-hire ng foreign employers or lokal na nangailangan for working permit, kailangan nila mag-apply ng LMIA para malaman kung eligible ba sila. So ito, may mga ano yun sila, guys, yung mga non-compliant, meron silang mga break the law, kung baga, as employers to hire the foreign employees. Kaya, kailangan po tingnan nyo po kung may mga job offer na kayo or mga contract kayo, titingnan nyo po kung may ano ba, nakapangalan ba sa kanila dyan, huwag nyo pong ituloy, okay? Meron din akong ano dyan, guys, latest video kung paano makita kung yung mga consultant or yung company, kung eligible ba sila to hire foreign employer or not. So, anyway, isi-share ko po sa next video, guys, yung mga work na may mga LMIA. So, safe po kayo niyan, guys. Once na may LMIA na yung mga employer dito, ibig sabihin na pumasa na sila sa assessment. So, that's all for today, and ingat po palagi lahat, and good luck. Hope to see you guys here in the future, and God bless. Bye-bye.